You would think being a journalist was just about writing stories, but not for Dele Giwa. For him, journalism was about asking the hard questions no one else dared to ask. Dele Giwa hailed from Edo State. After earning his degree in the US, he worked for the New York Times before he returned home to Nigeria. He was determined to use his pen to expose corruption and speak for the voiceless. He co-founded Newswatch magazine, a bold and fearless publication known for its hard-hitting investigative reports. Every headline challenged power, and every story rattled the powerful. At this time, Ibrahim Babangida ruled Nigeria with an iron fist, and Dele Giwa was one of his loudest critics. His reports exposed the corruption, injustice, and the abuse at the highest levels of government. That kind of courage came with a price, and Dele Giwa was making some very powerful enemies. On October 19th, 1986, Dele Giwa was chatting with his friend Kayode Soyinka in his home at Ikeja. His son Billy walks in with a parcel, an official-looking package stamped with the Nigerian coat of arms. Billy hands over the parcel to him, and Dele placed it on his laps. And as soon as he opened it, boom! It exploded, injuring him and deafening Soyinka, who had stepped away for a moment. Dele was rushed to the hospital, but sadly succumbed to his injuries. His last words were, "They got me." And a single question echoed: who killed Dele Giwa? And then conspiracy theories followed. But before we go into all that, let's rewind the clock to some events that took place a few weeks before his death. Dele had been under intense scrutiny just weeks before. On September 19th, he was interrogated by State Security Service (SSS) over an article where he warned that if the Nigerians' new foreign exchange policy failed, Nigerians would stone their leaders in the streets. But Colonel Togun told him he found nothing offensive with the piece. Next, on October 16th, he was questioned by Haliru Akilu, the director of military intelligence. Akilu accused Dele of discussing arms importation. On that same day, SSS reportedly summoned Dele to their headquarters again. The next day, Dele and his colleague Ray Ekbu met Togu once more, and this time, Togu's tone was different. Togu accused Dele of embarrassing the government with his story on Ukiwe. Ukiwe was the chief of the general staff to Babangida, who had just been recently removed from office. Togu also accused Dele of plotting a socialist revolution with NLC, ASU, and the students. The paranoia was growing, and Dele was becoming worried, and rightfully so, because they later found bugging devices hidden in books at his colleague's home. The message was clear: they were being watched. Dele Giwa feared for his life, so much so that he went to his friend Tony Momo, the Minister of Communications, and confided in him. But Momo brushed it off. He believed it was only intimidation tactics to rattle Dele. The next day, Dele Giwa spoke with Admiral Augustus Aikomo, the Chief of General Staff. Aikomo promised to look into things. Sadly, nothing changed. Then came the strange calls. On October 18th, a call came through from the Military Intelligence Office asking for Dele's office phone number. Later that same day, Akilu himself called and spoke with Dele's wife Florence. He was asking for directions to Dele's home, saying that he wanted to visit and also to deliver a message from the president's office. This will not be the first time Dele had received parcels from the presidency, so it was not anything suspicious. The next morning, October 19th, Dele called Akilu back to know why Military Intelligence Office called his home twice. Akilu replied, "Oh, the issue is resolved." And Dele told him that he already involved his lawyer, Gani Fawahimi, and told him everything. About 40 minutes after that conversation, the deadly parcel arrived, and now Dele Giwa had been silenced. Nigeria erupted. Shock, anger, fear, and then the conspiracy theories began. Was it the government? The interrogations by SSS and the military intelligence, the calls from the military intelligence office, the parcel with the Nigerian coat of arms stamped on it, all pointed to an inside government job. Or was this a politically motivated hit? A punishment for his critical stories about Babangida's regime and the removal of Ukiwe from office? Or was this about Gloria Okon's case? Gloria was a young woman arrested at Kano Airport for drug smuggling and later declared dead in custody. But rumors claimed she was a drug courier for the powerful elite, including the First Lady. Now, there were some rumors that she was not dead, but that she was snuck out of prison and secretly flown to the UK by the government. According to the legend, Dele ran into her in London, where she told him everything, and Dele had planned to publish it. So maybe this was why he was silenced? Or what if the killer wasn't far away at all? Suspicions had swirled around Kayode Soyinka, the only witness. He had claimed that he stepped out seconds before the explosion, sustaining only minor injuries. Soon after that incident, Soyinka had fled the country and avoided interrogation. So was that just a coincidence or some conspiracy? The investigation went nowhere. It hit wall after wall. Files vanished, suspects disappeared, no one was ever convicted. And so, nearly 40 years later, we continue to ask the same question. Who killed Dele Giwa? The only thing that is clear so far is that he died for daring to speak when silence was safer. Because in Nigeria, truth still carries a price, and Dele Giwa paid it in full.